Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon the master of martyrs and peace be upon you adorers. Welcome to Shia Waves. I'm your anchor Ali Jassim, here to present and replenish your minds with the latest Shia world news. And now with the headlines. Husseinias and empty areas in Karbala used to shelter displaced families from provinces experiencing Takfiri terrorist attacks. Iraqi Interior Ministry spokesman says man in ISIL video is not al-Baghdadi. Hundreds of Iraqis demonstrate against ISIS. Dozens of foreign students from Europe and America have been privileged with a visitation to the holy shrine of Imam Ali, peace be upon him. The head of the delegation, Mr. Mohammed Sabzawi, said that more than 70 students from both genders came from the UK, USA, and Canada to offer the rites of visitation in Imam Ali Holy Shrine during this holy month. He added that this is their first ever visitation to this sacred place, pointing out that the security situation is stable and spiritual atmospheres are wonderful, especially in Ramadan. The administration of Imam Hussein Holy Shrine decided to open the doors of large Husseinias to shelter the increasing number of displaced families, along with addressing the Endowment Directorate of Holy Karbala to allocate empty areas in the province as shelter for these families, after being equipped with all requirements by the holy shrines of Imam Hussein al-Abbas, peace be upon them. It is to mention that the number of the people who fled to Karbala reached 3,500 due to the tragic situations they were experiencing in the cities of Mosul, Tel Afar, Kirkuk, Salahuddin, and Abu Ghraib. Al-Abbas Holy Shrine, represented by its intellectual and cultural department, has announced the commencement date of the 7th festival of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, peace be upon him. The festival, which is sponsored by the holy shrines of Imam Hussein al-Abbas, peace be upon them, will be held in Babylon to celebrate the birth anniversary of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, peace be upon him, from the 14th to the 16th of this holy month. A member of the preparatory committee of the festival said that the festival of this year will witness many activities, such as reciting poems in the opening ceremony and holding writing competitions about Imam al-Hassan, peace be upon him, along with raising his holy banner. The office of the eminent Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sa'id Hussein Shirazi, may Allah prolong his life, has received in the holy city of Karbala many scholars, orators, Hawza students, and believers during the last few Ramadan evenings. The office received the eminent Ayatollah Sayyid Murtada al-Qazwini along with a delegation from the office of the eminent Sayyid Muhammad Taqi al-Mudarrisi, discussing the latest development of the Shiite situation, especially in Iraq and Syria. A delegation from the Iraqi province of Diyala visited the office, where they explained the challenges and dangers against Shiite people in their province due to the Takfiri terrorists. The office also stressed the importance of being on high alert and being ready to do their duties in order to defeat the Takfiris and those supporting them. The Iraqi security forces managed to completely clean Mansouriya district in northern Salahuddin province from ISIL terrorists. In a massive operation in Salahuddin province, in which 22 terrorists were killed, the Iraqi army was able to completely free Mansouriya region, 30 kilometers east of Baquba. According to media reports, Abu Harb and 2 other ISIL leaders were killed in the operation. The Iraqi army has built a barricade around parts of the country's Diyala province to prevent Takfiri terrorist infiltration into the area. According to a local Iraqi commander, the barricade will help repel a potential offensive on the city. Local officials say it was set up by the country's army in areas close to the town of Adim. The soldiers of the Iraqi army have been engaged in heavy fighting with terrorists of the ISIL on different fronts and have been able to push back the ISIL mercenaries in several areas. More than 2 million Iraqis have so far volunteered to fight against ISIL terrorists. The Iraqi government says a video footage purporting to show the head of the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and Levant, the ISIL terrorist group in the northern city of Mosul, was falsified. Interior Ministry spokesman said the footage posted on the internet on Saturday, allegedly showing Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi at Mosul's Grand Mosque, was without a doubt not him. He added army units had currently wounded Baghdadi in an airstrike and that he had been transferred by ISIL militants to Syria for medical treatment. A video was published by the ISIL claiming to show Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi for the first time, ordering all Muslims to obey him. A Shiite group in Bahrain has condemned the continuous home raids carried out by the regime forces for the 3rd consecutive day in the town of Bekr, south of Manama. The Shiite group said that the terrorizing raids and collective punishment against the citizens are unacceptable. This behavior comes in line with the repressive security policy against the citizens who are demanding democratic transition in Bahrain. A number of citizens have been arrested in the raids. The family said the forces entered without legal or judicial permission and were backed by masked militiamen. Hundreds of British Iraqis have gathered in London demonstrating against the terrorist attacks witnessed by Iraqis and Syrians by the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS. People from various religions and ethnic backgrounds joined that demonstration to express support for the Iraqi and Syrian people and condemn terrorist attacks by the notorious Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group ISIS. The demonstrators insisted that the ongoing conflict in Iraq and Syria must be terminated immediately because it is ending countless innocent people's lives.
Hundreds of British Iraqis have gathered here in London in a demonstration against the terrorist group ISIS, the so-called Islamic State of Iraq and Syria.
Well, I'm here today to demonstrate against the situation in Iraq, which is continuously deteriorating. Obviously, with ISIS taking over Mosul and Baghdadi making a speech just yesterday suggesting he's now king of the Muslims, which seems to me to be somewhat crazy. Looking back on the number of people who've already died in Iraq and Syria combined, and the number of refugees flooding out of the two countries, I think it's time that we demonstrated and tried to do something about it.
People are protesting against the injustice, destruction and bloodshed caused by these Takfiri militant rebels inside Iraq.
Basically, we're trying to say no to ISIS, yes to Iraq. People should know that ISIS is a strong organization, and how do they have the funds? How did they have all this money, all these weapons? There has to be people behind them, and we believe, which is the truth, is that Saudi and Qatar, the powerful and rich people, are behind this. They're the ones that are sponsoring them. American, British people are the ones that are training them, which was based in Amman, Jordan, and basically it's just disgusting really, because you're killing the innocents, you're raping women, and in no way does it say in the Quran, it does not say in the Torah, it does not say in the Bible, it does not say in any of these religious books that you are to go and start a war. It doesn't say that you are to go and kill the innocents, and for children to see their moms and dads die in front of their eyes while they are there screaming their parents' name. It's just really disgusting, to be honest with you, and people should know and people should stand up, because if we all become one voice, then the government will recognize that, that they're not that powerful, because we make the government, we are the ones that made the government. But yet if we stand up to the government, then the government will put a stop to this, and that is what I am here personally, and what everyone here is personally aiming to do today.
The protesters aim to highlight the brutality and savage crimes ISIS has committed, and that Iraqis are united against ISIS terrorism.
I'm here to obviously protest against the intervention by ISIS into Iraq. I think this is a very important issue for Iraq, and I think it's not just important for Shias, it's important for Sunnis as well. And yeah, I believe that we should be making a stance against ISIS, whether it be in London, Paris, New York, all across the world. And I think this is something that will obviously lead to the split of Iraq, the segregation of Shia, Sunnis, Kurds alike. So it's something that we should face on directly.
The protesters also wish to warn of the threat of ISIS militant recruitment from the UK and raise awareness of the inaccurate reporting of current events by Western media, who utilise negative sectarian rhetoric in their propaganda.
Well, you might have known about ISIS, a terrorist organisation that's actually right now fighting in Iraq. And I'm standing here with everyone else to fight, to show that we are a resistance against this terrorism. And really, we are having a lot of people from other ethnicities here. So it's not really an Iraqi cause; it's a cause against humanity. So that's why we're here.
ISIS has recently taken control of one of Iraq's largest cities, Mosul, which was followed by the capture of Tikrit, a city located in the Salah ad-Din province. Now the country is united in the cause of resisting against the Takfiri group ISIS after Ayatollah Ali Sistani urged all Iraqi citizens to join the National Volunteer Defence Force.
We've come here today to stand up against oppression, and what's happening in Iraq is terrible. It's nothing to do with Islam. They're criminals. They've got broken backgrounds, and they're just using Islam as an excuse. Because Islam is such a big thing, they're using Islam as an excuse to do what they're doing, and it's out of order. That's why I'm here today to protest.
An offshoot of Al-Qaeda, the terrorist organization receives private funding from Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Kuwait. They also benefit from stealing resources through their occupation of oil fields in Syria and the extortion of local Iraqi businesses.
I am here to protest against ISIS and what they're doing in Iraq and Syria. It's not new. It has been going on for the past 10 years through explosions and killing our fellow humans. This is the least I can do to let the people around us understand what ISIS are doing and how they are killing innocent people without any valid reasons, just because they follow a different faith, or not even that, even from their same sect, they're killing people just because they don't agree with them. That's all.
Human Rights Watch has stated that the crimes committed by ISIS amount to crimes against humanity. These include mass executions, torture, suicide bombs in civilian areas, rape against women, and the desecration of holy sites. Many protesters here in London have family and friends in Iraq and are worried about their safety. By coming here to protest, they wish to express their concern and highlight the growing danger in Iraq and wish for the international community to take action against ISIS. This is Ali Muhammad Ali, reporting for Imam Hussein TV 3, London.
Following the ban on fasting during Ramadan imposed by the Chinese government on Muslims in the province of Xinjiang, Uyghur Muslims defied the authorities and started observing Ramadan and regularly performing their prayers, stating disobediently that the restrictions have backfired. According to news sources, it is not only government employees who are banned from taking part in the religious practice of fasting, but also children under the age of 18 are banned from attending mosques. Despite the restrictions imposed by the Chinese authorities to eradicate Islam in that region, dozens of men attending night prayers at once. Ghulam Abbas, a Uyghur man, said that maktabs, part-time schools and the mosque where they memorized the Quran, were also prohibited. However, these tight restrictions on religious freedom in Xinjiang did not stop Muslim families from passing on the teachings of Islam to their children. We have reached the end of our new show. Thank you all for joining in with us, and as always, remember our dua to hasten the reappearance of our beloved Imam al-Mahdi, peace be upon him. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.